Washington, President Trump plans on Wednesday to unveil a plan to dramatically slash the corporate tax rate and collapse individual income tax brackets, and he'll try to sell it by applying a hard lesson from the failing effort to repeal Obamacare, enlist a few Democrats. In a speech in Indianapolis on Wednesday, Trump will make his opening appeal to Americans for a plan that would lower the corporate rate to 20% and collapse the current individual tax brackets from 7 to 3, 12%, 25% and 35%, according to lobbyists briefed on the plan who requested anonymity. In a dinner Monday night with grassroots supporters, the president did not specify the income thresholds for these rates. Currently the lowest tax rate is 10% and the highest is 39.6%. Trump said he has asked his staff to confirm that the plan would represent the biggest tax cut in American history by comparing the rates to the 1986 tax plan passed under former President Ronald Reagan, according to a dinner attendee. While Trump wants to cut individual rates in most brackets, he said he is convinced that the best way to drive the U.S. gross domestic product to 4% or 5% growth is by lowering corporate rates, and he repeatedly mentioned to his dinner guests the competitive disadvantage of U.S. companies vis-à-vis countries like India. This attendee said, "We're the highest taxed nation in the developed world, and we want to become one of the lowest, and that's what we'll be doing," Trump said Tuesday before meeting with bipartisan members of the House Tax Writing Committee. "The jobs will start pouring in from all over the world coming back to our country," he said. Trump will make the announcement alongside Indiana Senator Joe Donnelly, a Democrat planning to travel with the president, and in tandem with the plans released by Republican negotiators on Capitol Hill. Donnelly is considered one of the most endangered Democratic senators up for re-election in 2018. He will make the trip unless he is needed in Washington for Senate votes. Since the congressional push to repeal Obamacare collapsed Tuesday, Trump is hoping to champion an across-the-board tax cut as his final and perhaps best chance to accomplish a major legislative achievement by the end of this calendar year, and before next year's midterm election season sets in. Trump told dinner attendees that he thought a previous event in North Dakota, where he was accompanied by that state's Democratic Senator, Heidi Heitkamp, was a success and that he wants to model future events off it. Yet one Democrat who attended the Tuesday meeting with Trump said Democrats haven't been consulted on a plan that will favor the wealthy, create more incentives to ship jobs overseas and force cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Trump asked for Democrats to jump on the caboose after the tax train has already left the station. "I saw no Democrat ready to jump on board," said Representative Lloyd Doggett, the top Democrat on the tax committee. Claiming that tax breaks will magically pay for themselves is like claiming Mexico will pay for his wall, he said in a statement. The second major plank of the White House strategy is to feature small business owners like John Gannon, owner of a custom wood fencing company in Indianapolis. Gannon is among the individuals the White House is planning to highlight during Trump's speech on Wednesday, according to details shared with USA Today. The outreach is far more significant in advance this time. Secondly, there's more receptivity to doing this in a bipartisan manner, said Mark Short, White House Legislative Affairs Director. When it comes to small business owners, our tax system is outdated, said Short. That's the reason many businesses have decided to relocate off our shores, he said in an interview previewing the speech. You'll continue to see that be a focus of his venues. They personify why the president wants to make these changes, Short said. The White House also wants to focus on individuals like Indiana's Kip Tom, a seventh-generation farmer. Tom Farms is one of the largest corn, soybean, and seed growers in the state, according to the White House. In selecting Tom's story to highlight, it's also clear the president will push for a repeal of the estate tax, an issue that Republicans have been pushing for years. The Tom family claims that under current estate taxes, they may have to sell off a significant amount of assets in order to pass the business to the next generation. The estate tax only affects estates worth more than $5.5 million. Tom ran for Congress last year, was part of Trump's Agriculture Advisory Committee, and was considered for a top spot at the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Republican lawmakers are working to clear one of the big obstacles necessary for tax changes, adopting a budget that makes room for the tax cuts, with a tentative deal between top budget committee Republicans. Unlike the debate over repealing Obamacare, outside groups ally.